Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse, Chapter 1. My rescue operation goes very wrong. The Friday before winter break, my mom packed me an overnight bag and a few deadly weapons and took me to a new boarding school. We picked up my friends Annabeth and Thalia on the way. It was an 8-hour drive from New York to Bar Harbor, Maine. Sleet and snow pounded the highway. Annabeth, Thalia, and I hadn't seen each other in months, but between the blizzard and the thought of what we were about to do, we were too nervous to talk much. Except for my mom. She talks more when she's nervous. By the time we finally got to Westover Hall, it was getting dark, and she told Annabeth and Thalia every embarrassing baby story there was to tell about me. Thalia wiped the fog off the car window and peered outside. Oh yeah, this'll be fun. Westover Hall looked like an evil knight's castle. It was all black stone with towers and slit windows, and a big set of wooden doors. It stood on a snowy cliff overlooking this big frosty forest on one side and the gray churning ocean on the other. Are you sure you don't want me to wait? My mother asked. No thanks, Mom, I said. I don't know how long it'll take. We'll be okay. But how will you get back? I'm worried, Percy. I hope I wasn't blushing. It was bad enough I had to depend on my mom to drag me to my battles. It's okay, Miss Jackson, Annabeth smiled reassuringly. Her blonde hair was tucked into a ski cap and her gray eyes were the same color as the ocean. We'll keep him out of trouble. My mom seemed to relax a little. She thinks Annabeth is the most level-headed demigod to ever hit 8th grade. She's sure Annabeth often keeps me from getting killed. She's right, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. All right, dearest, my mom said. Do you have anything you need? Yes, Miss Jackson, Thalia said. Thanks for the ride. Extra sweaters? You have my cell phone number? Mom? Your ambrosia and nectar, Percy, and the golden drachma in case you need to contact camp. Mom, seriously? We'll be fine. Come on, guys. She looked a little hurt, and I was sorry about that, but I was ready to get out of that car. If my mom told one more story about how cute I looked in the bathtub when I was 3 years old, I was going to burrow into the snow and freeze myself to death. Annabeth and Thalia followed me outside. The wind blew straight through my coat like ice daggers. Once my mom's car was out of sight, Thalia said, Your mom is so cool, Percy. She's pretty okay, I admitted. What about you? You ever get in touch with your mom? As soon as I said it, I wish I hadn't. Talia was great at giving evil looks, but with the punk clothes she always wears, the ripped-up army jacket, black leather pants and chain jewelry, the black eyeliner and those intense blue eyes, but the look she gave me now was perfect evil 10. If that was any of your business, Percy, we'd better get inside, Annabeth interrupted. Grovel will be waiting. Thalia looked at the castle and shivered. You're right. I wonder what he found in here that made him send the distress signal. I stared up at the dark towers of Westover Hall. Nothing good, I guessed. The oak doors groaned open, and the three of us stepped into the entry hall in a swirl of snow. All I could say was, whoa. The place was huge. The walls were lined with battle flags and weapon displays, antique rifles, battle axes, and other stuff. I mean, I knew Westover Hall was a military school and all, but the directions seemed a little overkill. Literally. My hand went to my pocket where I kept my ballpoint pen. Riptide. I could already sense something wrong in this place. Something dangerous. Talia was rubbing her silver bracelet, her favorite magic item. I knew we were thinking of the same thing. A fight was coming. Annabeth started to say, I wonder where... The door slammed shut behind us. Okay, I mumbled. Guess we'll stay a while. I could hear music echoing from the other end of the hall. It sounded like dance music. We stashed our overnight bags behind a pillar and stared down the hall. We hadn't gone very far when I heard footsteps on the stone floor, and a man and a woman marched out of the shadows to intercept us. They both had short gray hair and a black military-style uniforms with red trim. The woman had a wispy mustache, and the guy was clean-shaven, which seemed kind of backward to me. They both walked stiffly. They had broomsticks taped to their spines. Well, the woman demanded, what are you doing here? I realized I hadn't planned for this. I'd been so focused on getting to Grover and finding out what was wrong, I hadn't considered that someone might question 3 kids sneaking into a school at night. We hadn't talked at all in the car about how we'd get inside. I said, Ma'am, we're just... Ha! the man snapped, which made me jump. Visitors are not allowed in this dance. You shall be ejected. He had an accent, French maybe. He pronounced his J like Jacques was. He was tall with a hawk face. His nostrils flared when he spoke, which made it really hard not to stare up his nose. His eyes were two different colors, one brown, one blue, like an alley cat's. I figured he was about to toss us into the snow when Thalia stepped forward and did something very weird. She snapped her fingers. The sound was sharp and loud. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I felt a gust of wind ripped out of her hand across the room. It washed over all of us, making the banners rustle on the wall. "Oh, but we're not visitors, sir," Thalia said. "We go to school here. You remember. I'm Thalia, and this is Annabeth and Percy. We're in 8th grade." The male teacher narrowed his two-colored eyes. I didn't know what Thalia was thinking. Now we'd probably get punished for lying and thrown into the snow, but the man seemed to be hesitating. He looked at his colleague. "Miss Gottschalk, do you know these students?" Despite the danger we were in, I had to bite my tongue to keep myself from laughing. The teacher named Gottschalk? You had to be kidding.